Well, absolutely. Quite a very constructive engagement. It's all about really finding the solutions, but of course, anchored on a very formidable bilateral ties between South Africa and Mozambique. So when you talk about Maputo corridor, this is very key. Minister Malelane, in fact, just spoke about the issue of trade, but joining us now is Minister responsible for transport in South Africa, Minister Creecy. I would imagine that transport is the heartbeat of every economy. There's a great deal of concern about what's happening at Lebombo, and just in terms of finding a solution here.
Indeed, Lebombo is a very important transport corridor for us, and in fact has become the most important land port in the country, overtaking Beitbridge and also Groblerspost Post. So we are extremely pleased with our interactions today and the assurances that we have received from the Mozambican government that they will do what they can to stabilize this important trade corridor and make sure that our mining companies, our general freight companies have access to the port of Maputo. And of course, coming the other way is important stocks of diesel that are servicing our economy and also, of course, Botswana's economy.
Minister, obviously, I would imagine that there's quite a lot of joint efforts, concerted efforts from South Africa, from Mozambique, to find a solution so that we can see part of Maputo effective, especially for petroleum, for logistics, for the mining companies that are based here, but also from the side of Mozambique as well, especially when you talk about intra-Africa trade.
Yes, I think part of what we discussed today is that we did need reassurance from the Mozambican authorities that they regarded this port as being as important and this corridor as important for the movement of people and goods as we do. And I think I can say that we very much got that assurance message today. I think that we also got a commitment that we will put up a joint team that will look into all difficulties. I've now had the opportunity to meet my counterpart from the Mozambican side. We've exchanged phone numbers, so if there are any difficulties, we can pick up the phone to each other. And I think this is really important so that I can go back to the freight industry in South Africa and say that we are confident that although there may be some difficulties that lie ahead, we have a working relationship that can unblock those difficulties when needed.
Minister, before I let you go, it's an incredibly busy time, the festive season where people are traveling around, but also just the ease of movement of goods and stuff. What would be your message really to the road users here in South Africa and even beyond?
Well, I think the most important message at this point in time is arrive alive. Please obey the rules of the road. We know that particularly from Friday, many businesses will be closing, many workers will be using public transport, many individuals will be using their private cars. We understand that you're very eager to reach your holiday destination. We understand that you want to move with speed. We're begging you, please, to abide by the speed limit. Please rest. Fatigue is a big killer, particularly at night. If you can travel during the day, it's much, much safer. And of course, to those who want to party at this time of year, please do not get behind the wheel of a car after you've been drinking. Stay over. Mora is, as they say, is nog 'n dag.
There you go, Minister. Thank you so much indeed for your time. Of course, Minister Barbara Creecy, they're talking about an array of issues. And of course, we know that this has been a very important meeting for South Africa and Mozambique. Khayelihle, Khumalo, SABC News, Malelane, Mpumalanga.